Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and SUVs, the motorcycles, the camper, the Kiefer dog, the pool, the troublemaker. There he is. Good Thursday morning there for all that tune into my channel. Listen to me gab away every morning on my morning conversations that are about 35 to 40 plus minutes long. Can you take it? Can you take it? But hey, as always, thanks for subscribing, watching, listening. Appreciate all support. Here we are in the never-ending adventures at the Iceman's compound with yet another project, task, and a lot of making fun of my Crocs. One of my subscribers, Metallica, I believe he said to me that I'm going to lose my man card if I don't get rid of these Crocs. I think, you know what, it's funny. So that reminds me of Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla of the Man Show. Does anybody remember that show, The Man Show? It was really the totally most abusive show you could watch of men portraying women to be the lesser of the two. But yet Jimmy Kimmel is one of the lead nighttime shows that gets all the support from everybody in the world to bash the others. Isn't that just something? Because that show had the man card conversations. Here we are on What a Freaking Project. And for me, the doofus me, I sincerely should have ripped out all that original foundation as pool. Then I should have brought in fresh dirt to try to work with this to grade it out a little better. I mean, right now, it's in pretty good shape. It's very challenging being the excavator guy out of your own backyard trying to get a level surface. I mean, I'm sincere, that's very challenging. You really need a lot of special equipment to a degree, or just a guy that does this every day of his life and knows how to master it. And having that tooth bar there would actually, in some ways, that's to my disadvantage, because this area here would be a little even more cleaner if I just had a straight edge bucket. But at the end, all that's going to happen is I'm going to put a big old tarp over this whole surface. But I know from the last pool where all the imperfections were, because I lived in this pool so many days, and this pool was not level. So the if you were standing here, more of the water was going downhill towards the pond than uphill. So this thing really wasn't per se level, and it was off by a good probably 5 to 6 inches. And so it's very challenging. And then you'd have rocks that would protrude, like this rock here. If I don't get rid of that, that can be a problem that will end up piercing the base, the cover. But I can already tell, just looking here, how she kind of rolls up. So it'll be about impossible to have this thing perfect. But if I get this thing to be more level, where the water is pretty level all the way around, that would be a great accomplishment. As the geese down there are not happy. What is going on with them? And there's good old Kiefer. The dog likes to do so many things. Yeah, I'm amazed. I probably broke something on this damn mower deck. I probably should have taken the mower deck off, but I didn't. So there you go. Y'all find out the hard way that I screwed something up probably. Oh, it's never ending. Yeah, I probably hurt some components. So what are we talking about today besides the pool, which now technically the pool water was supposed to come today, but I canceled and told them don't come till tomorrow. So now, do I accomplish the put the pool together between today and tomorrow? And now it's overcast, and really, if it started raining, it would be like the worst time to do this. And then in so many ways, there's still some areas that need to kind of clean up. And I put all the pool equipment in the trailer of the truck so I can work out of that easier. So yeah, it's never any projects. And it'd really be cool if actually this just sat out for, you know, part of me says just to delay the whole project and let this really dry out, and then bring in some dry dirt and really make it a lot more level. So I don't know. And being that we're now on the schedule to get out of here next week for the big Myrtle Beach Bike Week thing, yeah, it just doesn't end, man. And it's hard to believe it's already Thursday. Hard to believe. What's going on down with the geese? Somebody's not happy. Yeah, sounds like the couple, right? So anyways, here we are. Monday's conversation was secrets. Tuesday was remember conversations. Wednesday was the expert conversation. So I thought today, I think a really good conversation for us is the hurt, H-U-R-T, which, like I just said, that I hurt my tractor. Yeah, I don't think I did. I kind of ran it, so I think it's okay. Need to clean it all up, that's for sure. But yeah, so I thought to myself, the hurt conversations, like Kiefer likes to go hurt Ginger over there. Kiefer! So we're going to get them up in the office so that Kiefer can't hurt Ginger. He likes dominating her. It's a never-ending battle. And we're continuing to live in the Momentum Grand Design toy hauler. We're loving the toy hauler. I made dinner last night. I mean, I had a very busy day between getting the business going, taking care of those issues, and then going to, and then getting the trash, that old pool, to the dump, and then going and buying dirt, which is a total waste of money, and test driving the F-250, and then getting back home and screwing around with grading that pool, and then to no avail on that per se. Come on, girls, come on. And then for me to cut the grass. I had to get done cutting grass at 7:30. Then I made dinner. Made barbecue chicken, potatoes, sweet potatoes, green beans, mushrooms. I didn't get done cooking that till 8:30. We didn't even eat till like 8:45. And wow, it just doesn't end, man. And so today, what do I accomplish today? I don't know. It's just really coming down to the weather, the business, all that stuff. And what's crazy is I get better sleep in this camper. So I'm sleeping in later. Thank goodness I have a my own company, because I do have the luxury of not having to report at 6 a.m. in the morning to my business or 7 a.m. In my business, getting on the road after 9 or 10 o'clock is actually to your advantage, because the roads have then kind of quieted down from the mad rush to the work and all the school buses. And so to me, that plays my favor. But really what's incredible is so many years ago when I built, it's 10 years ago when I finished that back addition to my house, which is my main bedroom. And my wife and I had a major argument about how many windows. I'm more visual. My wife just isn't visual. So I argued with her about way too many windows. And oh my gosh. And it was an argument. But she's not the person stroking the $25,000 check to buy all these windows and doors for that back house. And I really pushed it, but eventually she was like, nope. Oh, my neighbor next door, they're having a big old ceremony for the wedding of their, I guess their son. And so it's a big event on Sunday evening. If you see the big tents over there, so congratulations to them. So anyways, so what came from that, and I even noticed this down in Florida. Down in Florida, I sleep in my parents' house. The room is very dark, and I sleep very well. In that bedroom there, I wake up all the time at 5 a.m., 5:30, and I really never can sleep very well. It's like a very light sleep because it's so light in there. And then the doofus of me, call myself doofus today, because when you make your own mistakes, you just think, oh my gosh, how stupid can you be, right? So I went out and bought these light colored blinds, which those blinds are expensive. That's a lot of work. So I bought those blinds. So I should have bought dark colored blinds. So the reason I'm bringing this up, in this camper trailer, oh my gosh, I wake up and it's like 7:30. I wake up, it's like 8 o'clock. I'm like, wow. So it's just a whole, because it's got tinted windows, it's got blinds, doesn't have a ton of windows. So in this camper, I sleep longer and better. Isn't that something? I never would imagine this trailer camper would have been such a fun thing in my life. It's surely my second home. It really is. Yes, and then for me down the road, over the years, if I really felt like this was really something I so much enjoyed, would I maybe get something bigger? Yeah, but for now, it's just great for what it is. And so anyways, the hurt conversation, I think, wow, the hurt conversation, that is probably one of the most expensive words in the world. If you really think about hurt, because hurt has physical implications and hurt has emotional implications. And you know what? I have a lot of former military excuse me, subscribers on my channel, and I know some of them have had major hurt related military issues, whether it be, you know, you physically lost a part of your body, or you're physically, you know, were injured, or even emotional distress. There's so many things. I mean, I lost one of my brother's good friend right after COVID, who was the fire pit guy over there in Iraq. He was in the Air Force, and I've told the story before, but he oversaw those fire pits, and you know, if you're in military, those fire pits are so dangerous for inhaling all the toxic fumes, because those fire pits, we realize are not, and I'm not the military expert by any means, but apparently over there in Iraq, they just dig out a huge big old hole, and they just throw everything into this hole and start burning it to get rid of the trash. And if you're having to oversee that and you don't have like a gas mask on, you're inhaling all that. So what happened is it destroyed his lungs. So when COVID came in, he lucked out, because like the first 2 years he didn't get it, but then he did get it, and that killed him because his lungs were so in such poor shape. I'm sure people know these stories. So that, you know, that's really hurt him. And, you know, and he had kids and a wife and, you know, whatever else. So the hurt, I mean, oh my gosh, what's the number one thing that tends to happen in cars and trucks and motorcycles? People get injured, they get hurt because you drive these vehicles and you're susceptible to a car crash. I'd be amazed if there's anybody on my channel that's never ever been in a car crash. I mean, for the most part, at some point in your life, something's happened. And to keep in mind, the crash could have been something very minor. It could have been you going through the parking lot and a guy pulled out of a parking spot and you bumped into him. Or you could know my story of me being very young in 1983, that I was in a horrific car crash from being out screwing around. And my friend Ivan convinced me to put a frickin' no parking sign in my Volkswagen GTI, brand new car, that in the end, driving down the road, ended up being like a baseball bat and whacking me in the head, knocking me out, and me driving down off the road and crashing and hitting the windshield and then laying in his lap basically, and not knowing that I had a major concussion. I mean, that's a whole lengthy conversation in my YouTube channel I've talked about, which I can go into a lot more depth today, but I'm not. If somebody wanted to hear the whole story again, I'd tell you. But anyways, so I've been in a horrific car crash, really life-ending, because I never realized that I had a actual, they didn't know I had a concussion. There's a lot more to that story, but it just gets too long in the conversation for me just to be telling you that. But once again, and then if you're watching my YouTube channel, you saw on Easter weekend, I just about was hurt or possibly would no longer be here from an individual pulling out in front of me in my motorcycle, and that would have been, you know, life-ending or severe hurt. So I'm sure many others here on my YouTube channel can share those same type of stories in some way, or they know somebody that got hurt. But the whole point is, for these cars and trucks and vehicles we own, it's incredible how we have such a love for these vehicles, but yet they hurt so many people. But it isn't even always the physical aspect, it's the emotional aspect. Who doesn't know when you have a nice car, and like yesterday, be unbelievable. You know, I was just so damn busy. This is a parking lot. This is truly a parking lot of moving my cars around to get things out of the way. So sure enough, yesterday, I backed this truck up, and this lawnmower just needs to be chucked. I backed into the damn lawnmower right here. So I scratched my rear bumper. Yeah, it hurt my truck. But it's beyond that. It's just like, it irritates, it hurts your feelings. And that's the thing about these cars and trucks and motorcycles that goes on all the time. These vehicles hurt your feelings because you own it, you love it. It's so cool. I'll never forget getting a brand new Chevy 1500 Silverado. I think it was the LTZ. Beautiful truck. And I got it back like in 2018. And it was my first Chevy truck that I owned per se. Well, I had another one, but it was a really nice truck. And I'll never forget going to Coons Chevrolet and having its first oil change. That truck, in some ways, I wish I didn't get rid of it. That damn thing, that had the 305 motor in it, if I remember right, or had the smaller. It didn't have the 6.2 motor in it. So, anyways, it got great gas mileage, great color, white, black interior, but it has just incredible fuel mileage. And so, anyways, I take it to Coons Tyson's Chevrolet, and I get the oil change. Well, I go disappear for a while. They actually had a shuttle where you could go over to the mall and hang out. And this is like the summer of 2018. So I go hang out in the mall, and then they text me that the vehicle's ready, and I go back through the shuttle. And when I get back, and I'm getting ready to leave the dealership. It wasn't until I got home that I realized there's a big old dent. I mean, a huge dent. I'm talking huge. Somebody, I don't know what they did. I mean, just like the side of the truck on the right side, not the left side, had a huge indentation. And so now, since I thought the dealership, I'm going to make a claim against them, which will be very challenging because they'll be like, well, you're now going from our dealership. You know that story. And I was like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, did that hurt my feelings? Yeah, Amy knows that if you have a car, truck, whatever it may be, when something happens to it, it hurts your feelings. Or you're going out and buy the car, the truck, and it's put a financial strain on you. You've come to realize you really bought more than you should have. And it turns into a very emotional, in so many ways, it hurts your feelings because it's sucking so much money out of your checking account that it's challenging to own the vehicle. And then it becomes a very emotional fixation because you're now on the constant page of another payment's coming up, my money's tight, and this is now taken away from me doing something else. And so now, emotionally, your car has rattled you. Who doesn't know these stories? Yes, or you go out and you've bought something and it isn't what you thought it was. And then you feel like maybe the dealership misled you of what you purchased. And you feel, or you call the dealership and you vent your frustration, and their position is that, oh, well, so sad, so sorry, it's yours. And so whatever. And then you feel like, wow, and you feel like they, in some ways, disrespected you, and it hurts your feelings. That's the biggest challenge in relationships, that goes from personal to business, father, mother, son, daughter, whatever it may be, even religion. It's such an incredible, powerful word, because somebody can say something that hurts your feelings. And that's huge. And what happens, especially in relationships, if you say something to your spouse, or you say something to your friend, or you say something in business that's derogatory, or it's you just kind of didn't handle that word or saying or that conversation properly, and then it creates the hurt feelings in that relationship. And sometimes that's life. That's for life. That sometimes is relationship ending. I've heard these stories so many times that people have been close with friends, and then they have these conversations. What's going on more than ever in our society is the social media machine has opened Pandora's box to people hiding behind the screen of their device and be able to hurt other people's feelings because they don't know who this person is. And that's a huge problem in the social media platform, is where others will purposely want to hurt somebody else's feelings because they get whatever drives their emotional. More or less, I feel like that person has had their feelings hurt, and it's just retribution. There's a good old breakout. One of my subscribers is saying, you should take the breakout. It's just short trips. Why would you want to take your bigger bike? But then Chris, my friend, his position is, well, if you go to the Harley dealer, if you go to any shops and you buy any paraphernalia, you have nowhere to put your gear. You have nowhere to put your stuff you just bought. So you're going to be wishing you brought your bagger bike. Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, decisions, right? It just doesn't end on the adventures, which a week from today, we're going to be down there at Myrtle Beach. What's even the weather forecast? I can tell you one thing. It'd be a total bummer in my world, for a limited time we're to be there. And part of me is like, why wouldn't I kind of step back on this and say to myself, we'll leave like Sunday. and we'll be down there a good week. I'm kind of following Chris's schedule versus my own schedule. So part of me is like, man, it's just so much, in my views, it's so much work to drive somewhere and only be there really 3 days. You drive Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, you're there 3 days. And then you're driving back. So 2 days is just driving, 3 days is playing. And to me, I think it'd be better to be 5 days of playing and 2 days of driving. But that's just my own, we can still do it in all reality. But who the heck knows? It's all about the schedule, all about what's going on other variables to take care of things. So, and then would that hurt Chris's feelings that I went down before he went? I mean, I can't see that being the case. Would it hurt Chris's feelings if the bike thing doesn't work out? Meaning, if I load these bikes up and this trailer is all over the place, and then I'm out of time to try to fix all that, then I'm like, the bikes ain't going. There's no way I'm going to drive a trailer for, 9-hour drive, basically, of a trailer walking all over the road. There's no way I'd ever do that. If you forget that, then it turns into the non-bike adventure. It just turns into going to the beach. Yeah, whatever. So on the hurt, so here's the number one thing that I talk about all the time. Yeah, the birds hurting all my cars. Yeah, they are. The birds are crapping all over the Camaro, crapping all over the bikes. Yeah, do they hurt my feelings? Do I want to hurt them? Yeah. Yeah. What do I really want to do to them? Yeah, right. So, but here's the thing. It's the same old Ice Age TV, never-ending conversation of the EV age versus Ice Age. Because the green agenda, how about that Ford Explorer? The Ford Explorer is a nice-looking vehicle. That's an overall pretty cool. Overall, but is it like jump out at you? Not really. Do people think of it now a police officer? Probably. But it's a never-ending conversation that the green agenda activists are going to say to the Iceman, you're hurting the world, Mr. Iceman. You are hurting the environment. You're a disgrace to the world because you're driving all these ICE vehicles. So it's a never-ending conversation that Kiefer's eating all the dirt, the dried up dirt now. So it's a never-ending conversation on my channel where it's the EV age versus the Ice Age. And the EV age person is going to be consistent on saying to you that you are harming and hurting Mother Nature Earth. And that's the main theme of this sitting administration, the Joe Biden Green Agenda Inflation Reduction Act. The main goal of that IRA is to set up more and more companies that are going to portray that they're not hurting Mother Nature because they're bringing the renewable energies seen to this country and to the world like never ever seen. And I know many, many people are on the page that it's just so ridiculous that you have these people fixated on them being the experts, on the them having the secrets, them being the experts. They remember, I used all these words this past week, and you just have to say to yourself, wow. But they truly think like you're hurting society. But at the same time, it's the double-edged sword because the Inflation Reduction Act, the Green Agenda, is hurting so many others financially because it's putting such a financial strain on the renewables, on the transitioning away from the Ice Age to EV age, and it's very expensive. And our governing body of our country feels it's right to take billions, close to $1 trillion of monies and have those be invested in the future of what they feel like will make us not hurting Mother Nature or the world. But I think a lot of people have to feel like it's more of a power struggle. It's more of a enriching others to benefit themselves by the transitioning of renewables from the Ice Age. And I think a lot of people would probably agree with that. And it's all, the big guys playing the game that can donate the monies to get the legislation and laws and rules and all these other things in order to force out the Ice Age. But it's being debated, it's being questioned, and the big guys in the big auto industry are definitely raising the flag that this transitioning too quickly isn't the best idea. And they feel like EV environment is good, but don't make it so fast and so radical. But yeah, right. Why is California always like the troublemaker? What is it about California? And it's so incredible. I was in California as a very young kid, and California was such the cool state. And I mean, I'll be sincere, and I'm sorry for anybody out there that lives in California, but my perception of California now is you guys are a pain in the ass. I'm sincere. When I see a California tag come into my area, I just think, oh my gosh, what's going on? Are you here because you're sick of what happened in California, but yet you supported everything there to create where California is? I mean, California, sincerely, what is it about California that raises the hair on the back of your body because of what you think about what all the legislation and how expensive, how the government truly has created everything to be so expensive. Gasoline taxes are $1 a gallon. Gasoline fuel over in that state is more expensive because of maritime laws of how they can get fuel to that state. That's a fact. Looked it up. Yes, you Californians, you're being bamboozled by the government, having relationships with shipping companies that bring fuel to your state that make you pay more money to get fuel there. Yes, look it up. Prove me wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm pretty right. Then once again, you pay 50 cents or more a gallon in fuel taxes than we do. And then it goes to just the legislation of this Gavin Newsom and the Democratic Party that just seems to, everybody's going to make $25 an hour. Everybody's going to make $25 an hour or $20 an hour, whatever the new labor rate is, to work at Taco Bell. Or, some kid, 18-year-old kid goes to go work at Taco Bell and he makes $25 an hour. But then you go there to buy a taco, your 2 tacos and a drink, and it's like $12, $15. When it used to be like $6, $7. But yet then everybody's screaming bloody murder of why everything's so expensive. Because the government bodies have created all this legislation to force government, or I should say force businesses, to abide by all these new stricter guidelines to be able to employ people with benefits, holidays, vacations. Somebody is pregnant, time off, list goes on and on and on. So as a small business owner, very, very challenging, especially the restaurant business. And there's been major blowouts over there. So once again, it's California. Why is California always like the number one state that creates the havoc that seems to go from the west to the east? It's kind of like the tornado that comes through the country. It comes from the west to east typically. It's kind of like the lousy weather comes from the west to east, right? Well, it seems like that's the California thing, that it trained all the cars so many years ago, the guidelines for auto manufacturers to be able to sell cars in all this country. They had to abide by the California guidelines of all the environmental emissions, baloney and crap I'm sure people my age, they understand and realize all this stuff. But here's a thing that you just have to be irritated with where we are with the governing bodies of this country. And this is factual. The school systems are in disarray. In fact, my wife yesterday is telling me in Chicago, the teachers' unions pounding their fist for a 9% pay raise increase because they ain't happy. But they have one of the most dismal record of educated kids in the country. But yet they think that they're supposed to get the handout and get more money in their checking account because they do such a lousy job. I mean, in the real world as a business owner, in the real world of a worker, if you're dismal at your duties, you're dismal in your business, you lose business. You don't gain business, but for some reason, the unions, the governing bodies, they have this attitude that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if things aren't that great. It doesn't matter. We deserve a pay raise. And the reason I'm bringing this up, I read an in-depth article this morning in the Wall Street Journal at probably like 4 in the morning. And the article talks about how the educational system in California, especially that Los Angeles area, is in disarray like never seen. The amount of students, amount of parents that have pulled out the students from going to public schools is huge. It's growing because the parents don't like the ideology. They don't like the government of California telling their kids how to be demented in so many ways. So they're pulling their kids out of the public institutions and putting them in private institutions. And so what's happening is the school systems for the lesser of the poorer people that can't afford to put their kid in a better environment, they're now at the mercy of the public school systems that are in a disarray that can't afford to stay in business, to the point that Los Angeles will be closing down many public schools that are having a huge impact for many of the lower income class people for their kids to get educated. And it's all because of, once again, it's because the hurt feelings. It's the feelings of these governing bodies, the people that are in power. They feel like they can just mouth off and tell you and I whatever we have to do, and your child can be this or that, and you as a parent have no right to be in the school system to abide by the rules that they have, that they are telling the kids that they can be this or that, and they start to, in so many ways, they do things that irk the parents, and the parents then become the bad person in the school system. So the parents, in so many ways, their feelings are hurt because you as a parent feel like you should be able to have some say in how your child's being raised. But in the end, no, you're just kind of shoveled out the front door. And so that hurts your feelings. Well, with hurt feelings, it's cause and effect. If you go to a car dealership and they don't take care of you properly and that hurts your feelings, you're going to make arrangements to go to a different car dealership. If you buy a product that you're not happy with, that hurts your feelings, you're going to get rid of that product or ask for a refund. Where's all the refunds from the government's promises of what they would do? Where's the refunds? Where's the taxpayers' refunds for all the monies that the governing bodies have given to others? And in the end, what comes from that? And for you and I, as a paying tax citizen, do they give us a refund for their mistakes? I mean, who doesn't know these? Who's know these stories of selling a car to somebody? Car wasn't what it's supposed to be. You got lemon laws. Who doesn't know about contractors and homeowners being major blowouts of what the contractor was supposed to do and didn't do? I mean, you can start going through the list of the hurt feelings and relationships. When it comes to the governing bodies, the position is we can hurt your feelings and just go home. We don't care. And just don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that every government official is a bad person. I'm just saying that where we are today's society, it seems like the hurt feelings from the powers to be, it doesn't really matter. If they hurt your feelings, it doesn't really bug us. It's just, they just go home and it isn't going to change their life. We know these stories too well because we're witnessing in front of us on how the public is resisting the change and the ideology and the views and the attitudes and what's going on. I just told you, Los Angeles, the people are pulling their children out of these public school systems because they won't listen to the parents of what they feel is right versus wrong. But now the teachers union and the other people are out scratching their heads and they're wondering why this is going on. I mean, and it's unfortunate. Yesterday I talked about and the experts on where the country is, and it's always going to be poor people. That's just life. There's always going to be homeless people. There's always going to be wars. Yeah, do you realize right now that we are in the biggest war per se in Europe? I'm not talking about the Middle East. Since World War II, the Ukraine-Russia war is now considered to be the biggest war since World War II. I'm talking about Europe, not talking about the Middle East of Iraq, other wars that have happened after World War II. And so are people getting hurt? Yeah. Are people in our country questioning what's going on over there? And they feel, I mean, in so many ways, if you look at what's going on with our country supporting the Ukrainians to fight the Russians, and Putin, he doesn't like that. His feelings are getting hurt because he now sees how the French, the UK, they're all now starting to participate in the war against him. And now more than ever, Putin is mouthing off that nuclear arsenal is in the back pocket, and nuclear arsenal may have to be used on some of these now new entrants to the war. He's just mouthing off. The guy's 71 years old, and the guy just won another fifth term election, which somebody feel like, yeah. And you know what I saw myself yesterday is cutting the grass. When you cut the grass, you got a lot of time to think to yourself. Anybody who's cut grass, you get that. Now, if you're listening to music the whole time, I don't know if you can think as clearly, but usually I'm not listening to music. I have to have my head's set ear protection on. And, for hours and hours and hours, you're on these lawnmowers. And I thought to myself yesterday, I wonder if Bill Clinton would have had a relationship with Stormy Daniels. Think this through. If Bill Clinton would have had the same relationship with Stormy Daniels as Donald Trump, do you think that it would have gone to where it's gone? I mean, sincerely, do you really think? I don't think Stormy Daniels would be around, personally. I mean, come on. I'd love to hear other people's comments on my channel. If Bill Clinton and Stormy Daniels had the exact same type of thing happen as Donald Trump did, do you think that you would be seeing nonstop, 24/7 video, live entertainment? It's live entertainment for so many people because people just can't stand Donald Trump. They're just foaming at the mouth, hoping this guy goes to jail. I mean, I'm sincere. That's just the way people are. So they love, it's just like the O.J. Simpson trial. People watch that. Half the people were foaming at the mouth to see him go to jail. The other half were dry mouth and didn't want to see that happen. So would you think Bill Clinton would be in court like Donald Trump? I mean, and the thing is, I don't think Stormy Daniels would be around. I think she would have died from something. You know what I mean? Does anybody know these stories? Oh my gosh, man. It's just, you can't make this stuff up. And some people, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to say that Donald Trump's the answer. I mean, that is not my channel. I'm just saying to you as an individual, if you look around on how people are treated, and in all sincereness, I am at the point in life, it wouldn't matter if it was Donald Trump. I mean, it wouldn't matter if it was some other conservative elected official trying to become the president of the United States. It would be the same exact rhetoric of just taking Vivek Ramsey. I mean, you could just take so many of the personalities that would run for presidency on the conservative side, and instantly all of the garbage would be, and don't get me wrong, I know the Republicans do the same thing to the Democrats, but I give the Democrats, I tell you all the time, if you're a Democratic person watching my channel, which I don't know if that would they really would follow my channel per se, because I'm more conservative views than liberal views. But the point is, the Democrats are so much better at mastering the tarnishing of others. They are. I've said it so many times. They know how to hurt people's feelings more. I mean, in my views, Nancy Pelosi knows how to hurt more people's feelings as a Speaker of the House than Mike Johnson does, or Kevin McCarthy. I mean, come on. Do you think Kevin McCarthy or Mike Johnson would have the man word, the man cave, the man shows words, the testicles to do what Nancy Pelosi did? No way. They wouldn't do it. Here comes the kid, revving to go to work. She's just all revved up. Look at her. She's got her pink outfit. Kiefer's eating all the dirt. So, yeah, the projects. And so anyways, for the kid and the Kiefer dog, they go to work right now. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, as I share with you the pretty views of the property and all that other stuff there. So the hurt, the hurt that, I'm sure some people on April 15th and finish their taxes up and realize they own a ton of money. Yeah, the hurt, when it hurts your checkbook. Who doesn't know those stories? I mean, who doesn't know the story of all of a sudden your tax guy calls you and goes, hey man, you owe a lot more money than you realize. You're like, yeah, isn't that the worst? I mean, everybody knows. Or you get some bill in the mail that you didn't realize you had, or you get the picture taken of you going down the road of you having a speeding violation through a hidden camera you didn't know. Yeah, how do you feel when you open that envelope up, right? Yeah, it hurts. Yes. I mean, we all know that. And so anyways, that's pretty much it. It's just like to keep the rhetoric going, the conversations going on the Ice Age TV YouTube channel. And what do you do today? I don't know. If the rains kind of start to move in, then the pool project's going to have to be delayed because I'm not working out in the rain to put a pool up, and it'll be a mud pit down there. So that pool project may go to after I get back from I don't know yet. Who knows? Let's get up here in the barn. Let's get up here in the shop. Let's get up here in the office and call it quits because the Honda Monkey is waiting for me to take it for a ride. Just take the Honda Monkey. That'd be fun. Let's just take the Honda Monkey. Now, let's just take the Honda Monkey and the CB1000R down. Yeah, right. Well, anyways, that's it for my morning conversations. As always, share the channel. I hope everybody has a blessed day. God bless. Stay safe.